What's going on, guys? I'm your host, Francis Beau, here to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on anything going on in the world of entertainment. And once again, I do apologize for not posting a lot of videos. It's just that I've been very, very busy with schoolwork. It's actually was my last day of school today, so awesome. I'm officially on summer break, so expect more videos to come out. And today, we got a lot to talk about in regards to DC. Now, particularly with the DCEU and some other stuff going on with DC Entertainment. So, we're just gonna jump right into it because there's a lot of stuff that we gotta talk about. I got all my notes right here. If you hear me clicking over here, that's just because I'm gonna be looking at some photos, some from particular movies, some first look images. But anyways, let's get down with it. So, if you guys don't know, Walter Hamada, I think that's his name, the person who worked on Conjuring. I think he worked on some of the Conjuring films. He is now the brand new president of DC Entertainment, I believe, or is it the DCEU? I don't know. Someone specified on that. But he's been doing a lot of shifting around, and a lot of announcements and a lot of images and such has been released for certain DC movies, and we're going to talk about them. And also, some news has been dropped about other DC movies that have been in talks for a long time. So we're just going to talk about all of it right now. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is Wonder Woman 2. We've been hearing a lot about Wonder Woman 2 recently. We've heard about Kristen Wiig has been cast as Cheetah, and they've been filming at Washington for a little bit, and now we got some first look images courtesy of Entertainment Weekly, or I think it was on Twitter. I think it was on Twitter where they released these photos. But we got our first images which reveal Diana Prince and, surprise, surprise, Steve Trevor. Now, a lot of people are speculating, how is Steve Trevor back for Wonder Woman 2? And the reason why people are speculating, it's not just because it's not a flashback. Okay? That's the thing that we have to clarify. That this is not a flashback scene. The reason why I say it's not a flashback scene is because look what he's wearing. That's 80s wear. And remember, Wonder Woman 2, which has been titled Wonder Woman 1984, which we're going to talk about the title in a little bit. But this movie's set in the 80s, and you see what Steve Trevor's wearing. He's wearing 80s type clothes. So, you also got the little fanny pack right here, if you've seen set photos. So, this is Steve Trevor. Now, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know if there's like time travel involved, or if he pulled a Captain America and he's been in like a coma for some long time. I have no clue what they're gonna do. But I'm very, very happy to see Steve Trevor back. He was one of my favorite characters in the first Wonder Woman. I love Chris Pine. I thought he was an amazing choice to play Steve Trevor, and he played him brilliantly in the first Wonder Woman, and I'm very happy to see him back here for the sequel. So, and the other photos with Diana Prince, and it's just her looking at a few television screens, you know, her faded in the background. But let's talk about the title, because that's the major thing that people are talking about besides Steve Trevor, is that Wonder Woman 2 is officially called Wonder Woman 1984. Now, I've heard about this. This was a rumor before. There was like a banner that got released that said WW 84, and people thought that was going to be the title of Wonder Woman, and apparently it's true. It is called Wonder Woman 1984, and I personally dig the title. I think that's a good title. I think it's simple, it's to the point. It tells you that, hey, this is a Wonder Woman sequel, and that they're telling you right there, this is the time frame that this film takes place. So, it's short and sweet, and I dig it. And I like that they didn't go for something cliche, like, I don't know, like Wonder Woman Rise of Cheetah or something, because, you know, Cheetah's going to be in the film, so I thought they were going to incorporate Cheetah somehow into the title. But it's cool that they're just going for a simple title. I like the simplicity of the title, and I am very curious to see how Steve Trevor is back for the sequel. So those are my thoughts on Wonder Woman 2. Now let's move over to something that dropped today, and it's been getting a lot of buzz today, and that is Aquaman. Aquaman's been getting a lot of buzz today. If you guys don't know, Cine Europe, I think that's what they call it, they recently had their convention, and Warner Brothers dropped a first look trailer, basically their first teaser trailer at Cine Europe, and I assume that we're going to get a teaser trailer very, very soon. If not, in a couple of weeks, we'll probably get it. Like, I assume before Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out, we'll get a trailer, or during Comic-Con, because Comic-Con is vastly approaching. But also with that, Entertainment Weekly released first look images for Aquaman. So I'm just going to click through a few of these photos, give you guys my thoughts on them. So first photo I'm looking at is we got our first look at Black Manta. Now, I don't know who this actor is, so I can't tell you what his name is, but I'm going to touch on the Black Manta helmet. It looks pretty accurate to the comics. It looks very, very accurate to the comics, in fact. I'm very curious to see how Black Manta comes into play because we're going to talk about another character that's in this movie in a little bit. But I'm very curious to see how this actor portrays Black Manta, and I'm very curious to hear about the origins of Black Manta because I don't know a lot about Black Manta. I don't know a lot about him as a character, but all I know is that he is very much a character that has been in the Aquaman comics, but I don't know a whole lot about Black Manta, so I'm very, very curious to see what his purpose is going to be in the movie and what his origins are. So that's that photo. The next photo shows what I was alluding to in the first photo. We have Aquaman talking to King Orm. I think that's what his name is, King Orm. I could be totally wrong. He's being played by Patrick Wilson. Patrick Wilson, if you guys don't know, he's played another comic book character, and that would be Night Owl from Watchmen. So, but he's here playing King Orm, and people, I saw on Instagram, some people were making a funny post saying that he looks more like classic Aquaman. Like, it seems like the roles should have been reversed. That's what everyone's saying online. But I don't mind. I love Jason Momoa. I think Jason Momoa does a good job as Aquaman. And I'm very curious to see how Patrick Wilson does as King Orm. But let me just clarify something that I was talking about at the Black Manta photo, is that King Orm is the main villain. That's what James Wan recently revealed, is that King Orm is the main villain, and that Black Manta is not. So I'm very curious to see what Black Manta's role is going to be in this film. I don't know if he's just going to have a supporting role, that he just makes a few appearances there and there. I don't know if he's going to be in full costume. I have no clue what they're going to do really with him. I don't know if it's going to be like towards the end we get to see Black Manta. But I'm very curious to see what they do with King Orm. In this photo, you see they both have tridents, which is pretty sweet. And he has like this knight armor. We also get, that's the thing I also noticed with Aquaman just now, is that they both are wearing like these knight type armors, which are like these Atlantean armors, which is pretty sweet. So I'm curious. I'm very, very curious. King Orm looks more like a knight in this photo. I don't know why. He looks more like a knight. Aquaman looks more Atlantean, but I don't know. King Orm just looks like more like a knight in that photo. But very curious to see what Patrick Wilson's King Orm does in this movie. Next photo we got is with Amber Heard and Jason Momoa, just both out, and she has a map. I'm very curious to see how Amber Heard does with her role as Mira. We got to see a little bit of her, like very, very, very little of her in Justice League. We're not even talk about Justice League because there's like I did a whole bunch of videos on Justice League about why she wasn't in the movie and why a lot of characters weren't even in the movie, particularly Willem Dafoe, which we'll get to him in a little bit. But I assume that this photo places a lot of significance to the story. I think that they're going to be on a hunt for a certain item. I think that that's what this photo is alluding to, is that they're going to be going across the world to look for a certain item of some sort. So I think that that's what they're alluding to in this photo, because she's holding a map. She has that face of like it's around here somewhere, and I think that that's what they're trying to allude to in this photo. And we'll see. Very, very curious. Next photo, this is the one I want to talk about the most. We get to see Mira in full costume, and she looks pretty sweet. We get to see James Wan doing his thing, doing his directing thing. We get to see Jason Momoa, and we get to see Willem Dafoe. Well, the back of him. We get to see the back of him, but that's Willem Dafoe. If you guys don't know, Willem Dafoe was originally supposed to be in Justice League, but of course, through all that drama and such that was happening, he got cut out of the movie. Mira made it in the movie, but she looks a little bit different here. I thought that didn't she have a crown in Justice League? I thought she had a crown, but here she doesn't have a crown of some sort. I don't know if this is just like her regular suit, but also, is this supposed to be Aquaman's wife? Because I don't know if in the comics, I'm trying my best to remember the comics, because I'm not a comic book guy. I view myself as a movie fan, but I don't really touch base on the comic books all that much. But forgive me if I'm wrong, but isn't Mira supposed to be Aquaman's wife in the future? I could be wrong on this. Just let me know. I could be wrong. But I really like this photo. I'm very, very curious to see how they're going to handle the underwater scenes, because from what I heard from James Wan, apparently the underwater scenes were like some of them were actual underwater scenes. So I'm very very curious to see what he has planned. From this shot, it looks like it's gonna be, it's like a huge structure, and of course there's gonna be some CGI. Um, I'll put into the background. But I got a really Pirates of the Caribbean vibe with these photos. I don't know why, but I got very Pirates of the Caribbean vibes with these photos. And the last photo is with Nicole Kidman, and she's playing Queen. Was it? I'm sorry, Queen Alana. I don't know how to say that name. Queen Alana. I'm assuming that this is Aquaman's mother. I could be totally wrong on this, but I'm just assuming that that's the case. She looks pretty good. She looks like a Disney princess in that photo for some reason. But overall, I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with Aquaman. I have a lot of faith in it because of James Wan is behind this project. And also, they've revealed that Aquaman is most likely going to be very humorous, particularly very Thor Ragnarok type of style. And I'm actually game for that. I'm very game if they do that. But they're going to add a little bit of horror elements and a little bit of seriousness because it's kind of like with the theme of DC, the DCEU, and also James Wan. Come on, he's done the Conjuring universe, so of course he's got to implement some of his horror elements into Aquaman. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for Aquaman. All right, so now let's transition into a film that I'm surprised has not been filmed yet, just because of how big the character is, and that is the Batman. Now, the Batman movie has been through a lot. The next two movies, this one and the next one that we're going to talk about, have been through quite a lot if you have been keeping up with movie news lately. Matt Reeves, who is directing the movie. If you guys don't know Matt Reeves, he's directed the two Planet of the Apes films, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes. He also directed Cloverfield. He has recently stated that his script, which is complete now, is featuring a younger Caped Crusader. So we've been hearing a lot of rumors and speculation that Ben Affleck might not be the Batman anymore. And from what Matt Reeves has stated, it seems like this might be a possibility. Now, I don't know. Now, Ben Affleck has been confusing us because he's stated in the past that he is still Batman. He has now stated recently that he doesn't know. So, as of right now, Ben Affleck's been very silent lately. He hasn't really said or talked too much about anything going on. I think that he's filming his next project, his next directorial project. I'm not sure what it is, but I think that's what he's doing. Also, Ben Affleck had a really rough year last year. If you guys don't know, like all the stuff that's been going on with Ben Affleck, that wasn't a great year for Ben Affleck. I could see why he's wanting to be silent. I mean, I would be silent too if I had a rough year. I would want to be on the down low for a little bit. So, but Ben Affleck possibly might not be the Batman anymore. He can always return for Justice League 2 if he wants to, but that's not a big possibility either. So, I'm very much would love to see a new actor play a younger Batman. Let's keep that in mind, a younger Batman. So I'm assuming like maybe 30s or like late 20s. I'm assuming that's what they're probably meaning for a younger Batman. Now I know what you're all saying. I hear the actor name all the time. Jake Gyllenhaal. I would love to see Jake Gyllenhaal. He's a fantastic actor. But I don't know if he wants to play Batman. I would love to see him in this role, but I don't know. I assume they're going to get a fresh new face to play Batman, or somebody out of the blue that we just won't predict. Like Ben Affleck, nobody predicted that Ben Affleck would be playing Batman, so we'll see. I'm very curious to see what comic stories they're going to use and adapt. I've been hearing a lot about A Death in a Family that they're probably going to use. Also, a lot about Court of Owls storyline. So very very curious to see what they do with the Batman. So I'm very happy to hear that's starting to move forward a little bit. Now, a film that's been in so much hell development and is finally getting a push is The Flash. The Flash has been in development hell for a long time. If you guys don't know, The Flash went through three or four directors, which left the project. I don't know I don't know who's directing it now, but they have officially said that filming will finally begin in early 2019. That's when The Flash will start filming. And the film, if you guys don't know, has been through lots of changes. This film was originally announced in 2014. I think that's when this film was originally announced. They had this, I don't know who the original director was for this project, but I don't know who the director of this project, or who the director of the Flash is now, but I'm glad to say that they have a solid director and that they're finally moving on with filming. And they've stated that they are not going for somber themes. That's the quote that they've said. They're not going for somber themes. In fact, they're going to be getting a lot of influence from Back to the Future. So that's pretty awesome. Oh yeah, I do have the names actually for the filmmakers. John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein are the directors. And if you guys don't know, they're the ones who have previously given you comedies such as Vacation and also this year's Game Night. So those are your guys who are going to be directing The Flash. And it has been stated, it's just a rumor, it's not fully true, but it's been heavily rumored now with this news popped up, is that the Flashpoint storyline is most likely been scrapped, and they're most likely going to be sticking with an origin story, or kind of like a Spider-Man Homecoming type of thing, where you know the Flash, you don't do much on origins, and you just show his daily life as a superhero. So, we'll see. I'm very curious to see what they do with the Flash. I respected Ezra Miller as the Flash. I didn't love him. I respected what he did with it, but I needed to see more, and I will see more in his solo movie. So, all right, next film that we're going to talk about is the Joker movie. Now, I got to specify, since we're getting two Joker films now, it's the I can't say his name, Joaquin Phoenix. I can't pronounce his first name, but Joaquin Phoenix. There we go. Sorry, I got that name totally wrong. It just came back to me. Joaquin Phoenix. Again, if I butchered that, I apologize, but they have announced a couple things about the film. First off, that they have confirmed, basically, that Joaquin Phoenix is going to be playing the Joker, and that they might be shooting as early as this fall, and that they're going to have a budget of $55 million, which that makes me very, very happy, because they could have easily put a lot more money towards this, but I'm very happy that they're going to make this movie low in budget, so I'm very, very happy. And also, this is not part of the DCEU. This is part of a new label at Warner Brothers, which we'll talk about later. But I'm very, very excited. And Martin Scorsese, who is a brilliant director, he's going to be producing this film. And with it is the director Todd Phillips, who's given you the Hangover trilogy, and I think also War Dogs. I think that was what he also did. So, yeah. But let's talk about Jared Leto's Joker movie for a second. Do we need one for Jared Leto? I mean, I know that he really was mad about Suicide Squad because there was a lot of scenes that were taken out. But I don't know, does he need a Joker movie? I mean, I didn't love Jared Leto as the Joker. I was fine with it, but I don't know about a full-length feature. I would wait to see how Joaquin Phoenix's Joker movie does first before announcing Jared Leto's Joker movie. So, I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. But let's talk about the new DC label. So this is a quote from Collider.com, and they say that the new DC label, in quote, will allow filmmakers to create unique takes on DC characters without worrying about the shared universe. So basically, you're gonna get, if you want to do Batman, and you don't want him to be in the DCEU, you could put him you could put that movie under this new DC label. So, I think that's both a good and a bad thing, because it's great in terms of an artistic point of view, because you now have more freedom to do what you want and don't have to worry about a universe behind you. But at the same time, it could be very, very confusing for an audience member, because some people could be confused with, is this part of the DCEU or is this not? So it could be a little bit confusing, but I think that if they can clarify it, I think that the audience can easily make the distinction between universe and not universe. And this new DC label could be going by the name DC Dark or DC Black, which I'm going to tell you are pretty terrible titles. I don't like these titles. I hope they get a more creative title in the future, but as of right now, those are just terrible titles. Um, but I'm very excited to see what they do with this new DC label. We have a Joker film in this DC label, so I'm very excited to see what else they do in this DC label. I heard that Matt Reeves' Batman movie was like there was a rumor that was supposed to be part of the new DC label, but Matt Reeves clarified and it's part of the DCEU. I would have loved it if it was not part of the DCEU, just because I think Matt Reeves can do something really, really cool if it was not part of a universe. But hey, if it's his decision. But and also it's really more the company's decision. But a few other new notes that Walter Hamada stated is that there will be no writers' rooms to help craft future DC films. So no more writers' rooms, kind of like how Transformers did it, where they brought in a bunch of writers and they sat down and wrote the next like 15 movies or something. They're not doing that anymore, which I think is a smart move. And they also stated they're not going to announce any release dates for a slew of movies in advance. So they're not going to announce like 6 movies, and hope that those stick. So I think that Walter Hamada, as of right now, is doing a pretty good job. I like that what he's doing. He's just throwing a few images for upcoming movies like Wonder Woman 2, Aquaman, throwing a little bit about Batman, throwing a little bit about the Joker, talking a little bit about the DC label. I like what he's doing. I like what he's doing right now as the new president, and I like this announcement of no more writers' rooms. I think that that's fine. Maybe just a little bit of collaboration between writers, but not like imploded like how they did for Transformers. I like the no announcing release dates rule. I like that. That's smart. I do not like it when companies announce like 6 movies in advance in a shared universe of some sorts. I'm looking at you, Dark Universe. I like that. So yeah, those are all the DC stuff. That is a lot of news that we talked about. Sorry that this video is pretty long. It's just that I just want to talk about all the stuff that's been going on. It's a lot of major shakeups that have been going on. So I just want to talk about all that stuff. And tomorrow I will have an Incredibles 2 review, so make sure you guys go check. Well, actually Saturday I'll have a review for Incredibles 2. So make sure you guys go check that out. And yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. And let me know all your thoughts about Wonder Woman 1984, Aquaman, the Batman, the Flash, Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, not Jared Leto. Also, yeah, tell me about Jared Leto's Joker film, the new DC label, and Walter Hamada as the new president. Is he doing good so far? Is he not doing good? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's it for my thoughts on everything going on in the DC Extended Universe and in DC Dark or Black, whatever they're going to choose, which sound like stupid titles to me. Anyways, thank you. That is it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, as many of these videos, Beau out. See you next time. Peace.